Well guys, you can see I'm in my car. I'm just coming back from the gym. And what I thought I'd do in this video is just tell you what's happened with my TV. I bought a Panasonic 50-inch television on September 1st, so that's about 5 months or so, 5.5 months ago or something. I bought it from eBay. It was a refurbished one and it had a year warranty. And I've had to send it back. So basically what happened was, start my car up. What happened was that the television was working fine, but when I bought the television, every now and then, like every week or so, what would happen was Netflix wouldn't work. It wouldn't log in. Now this wasn't an internet issue, it was Netflix, because Amazon Video still worked and YouTube still worked. Later on, a few months later, YouTube stopped working as well. Now, I had, in hindsight, what I should have done is just returned the television straight away, but at first it only happened say every week. It would happen for like an hour or so, so it wasn't a major inconvenience. But then it started happening a lot. Like at one point it didn't work for a week, another point it didn't work for a few days. Now I brought this up with Panasonic. I spent a couple of weeks with initially on eBay talking to them. I finally got someone to speak to me on the phone, and they kept saying, I said, listen, this is a software issue, the television is perfect, it's a software issue. And they kept saying, well, we don't know if that is the case, blah 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 blah. I was like, listen, right, so I said, what I'll do is I'll record you a video showing you exactly what's happening. So I recorded the video, sent them, and after a few times they said, yeah, we watched the video. The next reply said, no, we haven't watched the video. And basically this is what happened. They did it for weeks and weeks and end. It was probably about 5-6 weeks in total at the end, where they would just come back, you know, on eBay, and eventually they would just keep saying, so has this been resolved? I'm like, no, it's not been resolved. No one has helped me, no one has done anything. Why are you even asking if it's resolved? One of the phone calls, like I said, listen, I'm just trying to get the software issue fixed. It's not like I'm looking for a refund. And the guy actually said to me, well, good, because you're not getting a refund anyway, you're well over the warranty period. I was like, well, I don't think that's the case. He's like, yes, it is. And the tone that he said it obviously stuck in my mind. So eventually I phoned PayPal. This was like after 6 weeks of messages. I phoned PayPal and I said, listen, I'm not saying raise a dispute, I just want to talk to them, and no one's answering my emails and no one's dealing with this. After a few days of that, someone called me and they agreed to either return it for a refund or see if they can fix it. But whilst it was, you know, I was speaking to them about that, the YouTube stopped working, and you know, I looked into the issue closer, and the fact they hadn't updated any software in a year, I was like, no, this is it, I'm just getting a refund. You know, I've wasted about 2 months on this already. At that point, I was very frustrated. Now, I eventually raised a dispute, and this is where it became a pain with PayPal. Then PayPal started messing me about for weeks. For example, you know, it's supposed to be in the UK, where if there's a problem with an item and you have to return it, they have to pay for all delivery costs. This is under the Consumer Act 2010 or something. Now I phoned PayPal, I was like, listen, they're asking me to pay for the package, you know, to send it back. And they said, no, you don't have to do that, don't worry, I'll sort this out, and we'll get you a full refund tomorrow. The next day, I didn't get a full refund. They had escalated it, and they said that now I had to pay for delivery as well. So basically, I had another 2-3 weeks with PayPal of them, you know, going back and forth, them promising me things and not to do anything. Eventually they said, listen, we're really sorry, we'll refund your packaging costs, which they haven't. They told me to complain, which I did, which they didn't acknowledge, and it's been a nightmare. Last week, I sent the television back, I got a full refund. So this was about week 8 or 9 of, you know, starting it. And what did PayPal do? PayPal refunded it to a credit card which is cancelled. So when I called PayPal, they said, no, we can't take it back, you're going to have to phone your bank. So I phoned my bank, they say it's not there yet. I phone a few days later and they say, right, we can see the transactions there. And the woman's like, give me your sort code, give your account number, we'll send you the money back. Okay, how long will that take? 3 to 5 days, right? Okay. Phone after 5 days, listen, the money's not here yet. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Muldoon. It looks like my previous colleague didn't put that through. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, she's not taking your account number, she's not taking your sort code, She's not added any notes, but I can see that you've spoke to her. I was like, so what was she doing, just playing on Facebook when she was talking to me? So long story short, Panasonic delivered me a television that physically was fine, picture and all that was happy with, software was unsupported, and all the apps were, sporadically breaking down and not working. And what should have been something that should have been handled in a week, it took about 6-7 weeks, or 6 weeks or whatever, speaking to them on eBay, one phone call, lots of mispromised phone calls from Panasonic. It took another 2-3 weeks with PayPal, phone calls, and then it took another week with my bank, because they're idiots as well. So that is my Panasonic saga, and that is why I'm now looking for a new television. I've actually been without a television for like a week now, but I wanted to find out more and not jump into it. So I've been looking at televisions, and I will have a new television soon. So the question here was, would I buy another refurbished television? I probably would. The actual television was fine. The issue here wasn't the refurbished television. The issue here was the software, coupled with the fact that Panasonic support was horrendous. Now, here's the thing, this is stupid in Panasonic's part, because some of the televisions I like are actually Panasonic, and I would go and spend more money with them. But the way they treated me, their warranty is practically worthless. In the end, after bringing in PayPal and threatening, to bring my credit card company into it as well, they did do the right thing and refund me the money. But it wasn't easy. It was a ton of emails, it was a ton of phone calls, it was a ton of, it was basically a lot of me saying, listen, if you don't do this, I'm going to go every legal route to take you guys to make sure you do the right thing. And that's what it came to. Just frustration with Panasonic. So that's where I am, guys, and I am going to buy a new television. But I haven't been put off with buying a refurbished television. I think Panasonic's support is terrible or non-existent. But thankfully PayPal were equally as bad, but in the end I did get the money. So if I'd known, in hindsight though, if I'd known it was going to be this bad, I probably would have just kept the television. But I got my money back, and now I'm on the lookout for a new television. So guys, I'll keep you updated in a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all very soon.